Warning, this is Jake's first walkthrough of Katawa Shoujo and is going down Emi's route. Some contents may be inappropriate for kiddies.
Previously on Katawa Shoujo.
What are you doing down here, Hisho? Well, I came to see you, girl. What do you think? She look... Oh, we say the B word. Beautiful. She looks beautiful. Damn right. I'm Emi Ibaruzaki, fastest thing on no legs. I give her a hug. Oh, so we go hug time. Okay, yeah, sure. Oh, you hear me, Sky? You stop that raining right now, this instant. She's sick in bed. No! Dang it! Wind up in this sort of position. Hi! About this track captain guy. Two of them are... will never do anything like that. Ah! Victory is ours! Then it happens. What? What? What's going on? What is it? Emi not running. Witchcraft! But she's in a wheelchair. Her leg! Legs! Why? Well, maybe we should... Ah! Ah, my virgin eyes again! Ah! Nobody can. Nobody will. What happened?
And our story continues.
Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land, Jake and OneManBand is back again with more Katawa Shoujo. Let's dive right in, shall we? I think we're really close to Act 4 in Emi's route. The morning is cool and clear, but a bit humid. Summer's making itself known, it seems. Emi's already stretching out when I arrive, and greets me with a smile and a wave. She could finally run again! Yay! Hey, Hisho. The sight of her so chipper is like a kick in the nuts. How can she be so happy after yesterday? Because she's Emi, that's why. She gives a half wave, and I am surprised to receive a hug. Yay, hugs! Hey, about last night. Here it comes. I wanted to say thanks. And thanks? I like thanks. I actually managed to get some sleep for the first time in a while, and I think it's because we talk. See? Talking fixes things! So thanks. How can she sleep better after our chat? She basically told me she wouldn't get any closer to me. And that let her sleep well? Oh, wait. No, wait, this is bad. This isn't happy. Excuse me, princess! What the hell? Emi either doesn't notice my befuddlement or chooses not to notice. No telling with her anymore. Oh, no problem. Glad it helped. The venom that threatens to drip into my voice is controlled for now, but I think I'd better start running now before I do anything stupid. Emi seems... quali willing to get started. Whatever. And before long, we are darting around the track. She's darting, I'm more, sauntering. I can tell she feels more relaxed. Because she's got that look on her face again. Her running has gone back to more graceful movements I remember from when I first watched her. It's a stark contrast to the almost brutal way she's been hurting herself around the track these past few days. Our talk really did seem to help her. A pity it couldn't help me. I get into the rhythm of running, thinking back to when I couldn't afford thinking about anything else but keeping my breathing steady and legs moving. Guess those days are gone. At least for the first couple laps. And then I start to die again. Annoyed at the lack of success I'm having with clearing my head, I increase the pace. No! Don't increase your pace! You might die again! Like last time. Ah, there's a burning sensation in my legs. My breath comes ragged in my chest, the pounding of my heart, which I still need to be careful about. But it doesn't seem to have gotten stronger. I can feel it pumping blood through my veins. I mean, have you ever really felt that sensation? It's like the weirdest thing. The sound thums in my ears, but instead of being panicked as I was the day in the snow, I instead feel with elation. Yes, it's working. My heart, the fatal flaw that landed me here, has improved. Level up. I'm able to keep going now. Maybe one day I'll be able to stop worrying as much. Right now it doesn't matter that I have no idea what to do about Emmy and I. I guess all that extra cardiovascular activity you've done with Emmy the past few days has really helped you. I mean sex. All the matter is that my arms and legs continue to pump in concert with one another. Nothing else. As I hit the final stretch, I remind myself that running really does help, though not as much as I'd hoped. I do feel better, and as I walk a few laps to cool down, I begin to remember last night in a slightly less emotional manner. Emmy wants me to stay distant from her. See, that's asking a lot. She wants me to stay away from her, instead of she wants herself to stay away from me. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it'd be different if she was trying to keep away from me, instead of she wants me to keep away from her. Girls are so complicated and weird. I can't bring myself to do so. There's gotta be a way around this, some kind of middle ground I can reach. Not sure what that middle ground is, though. Damn, I almost feel optimistic. Nice run, Hishio. You've really improved. Don't lie to me! You don't want me anymore. Nice run. That's all I can hope for right now, isn't it? Congratulations, Hishio. You're pathetic. I gotta change my attitude. Well, you know, I'm pretty awesome. And yet I just keep saying things that I don't mean. Any second now, I'll be as good as hiding my problems as Emmy is. I'd like to think so. Why does she do this to me? Say something like that with such real affection in her voice that it makes my heart leap. Now, she's playing with our emotions. This little vexen, this succubus, you. She doesn't mean it. She can't. I must be doing a worse job than I thought, because Emmy peers closely at me. Hey, you feeling okay? No! You're playing with my emotions, and I don't like it. Maybe we should go to the nurse, huh? Yeah, I'd hate to keel over on ya. Emmy looks a little shocked at my bitter tone. Don't say things like that. Oh, well, I guess you can't take it when I'm dealing it out. You've already done it once before, you know. Why does she act so affectionate? She doesn't really care. I thought she made that clear. But despite all of that, I find myself apologizing, even though I shouldn't have to. Even though she's probably just putting up an act. Sorry. Come on, let's see the nurse. I can't get myself to calm down the whole time. Every time, it feels like I've gotten over what happened last night, Emmy does something or says something that shows affection, and I'm back to the beginning. The image of her ending that conversation haunts me. It was like the final twist of the knife that left me feeling bereft of any hope that Emmy and I could be more than what we are. And what are we at this point? Little more than friends who happen to do the nasty. And really, it's not like I don't enjoy the time spent with her. Said so the other day myself. I very nearly didn't even bring anything up with her. Was just gonna hop on in there and let it ride, wasn't I? With this running through my head, I find myself in front of the nurse's office, still brooding as he checks out Emmy. Emmy comes bounding out the door, gives me a kiss, and darts off to the shower, as I assume. Now, why would she do that? She doesn't want me to be close to her, but she can be close to me? It would all make sense when we get to the end, I'm sure. Meanwhile, the nurse beckons me into his office and gives me the ritual once-over. Any problems today? Nah. Except if you account my metaphysical broken heart over Emmy. I've even pushed it a little harder today than I have in the past, and I seem able to handle it. That's uncharacteristically risky coming from you, Hishio. You've been hanging out with Emmy too much. She's rubbing off on you, and not necessarily in a good way. At the mention of Emmy's name, I can't help but frown unhappily in spite of my efforts at control. Well now, this is new, don't you think? Last I checked, your usual response to Emmy's name was a grin, not a frown. Well, a grin is just a frown that's upside down. What exactly happened between you two? Because Emmy doesn't seem to be in on it, whatever it is. That's because she can hide her emotions. She looked more relaxed than I've seen her in weeks, which is unusual for this time of year. What do you mean by that? By what? For this time of year! I keep trying to find out what's been bothering her, but she claims up as soon as I broach the subject. Then last night she said, let me guess, she won't tell you because she says she can't trust you. And now you're crushed because you thought that you two were so much more than she seems to think, right? More or less? Well, when you do the nasty with somebody, I can only assume that you're, little more than friends. How the heck did you know? Hishio, I'm the nurse! It's my job to know these things. And he's psychic, too. Plus, I've known Emmy for long enough to know that she'd try to do something like this. It's just like her. Wow, she's a manipulative vixen, succubus. He says this in a sort of half-affectionate, half-frustrated tone that would seem more appropriate if he had a cigarette dangling from his lips. As it is, he seems willing to make do with a pen. I open my mouth to respond, but a knocking sound at the door interrupts me. Hey, you guys still in there? No, we climbed out the window. Just a moment, Emmy. Give us a second to get our pants back on. The door bursts open and Emmy glares knives at the nurse. Asshole. Didn't mean to get your hopes up. Hey, can we leave me out of this? Anyway, what's up, Emmy? Forgot something besides me? I try to take a more cheerful tone with her. No need to upset her. Two can play at everything's fine game. Actually, I forgot to ask you something. Oh? What's that? Do you want to come with me on a trip to my house? I don't understand! Why? She flat out rejects us but my mom's making dinner and I thought you might want to join us. So, is this like supposed to be like the form of, we're breaking up but we can still be friends kind of thing going on? Because I could totally understand that, but the way that it was done, it's just, it's weird, man. Well, of course I accept. Emmy punches the nurse in the arm playfully. Not you, idiot! You were over last week. I was talking to Hishio. Oh, how interesting. Meeting the parent? I'd love to go, Emmy. Thanks. It'd be nice to, see your mom again. She seemed like a nice lady. The nurse raises an eyebrow but says nothing. Great, I'll be in my room, swing by after you shower and change into something clean, and we'll grab the bus. Sounds great. I'll see you in a bit. This time, it's me who leans in for a quick kiss before darting off to my room. Okay. Emotion playing. Weirdest thing. What an interesting development. Maybe I'm getting closer after all. Well, you know, maybe. And maybe this will give us a chance to talk to her mother about her problems. That's kind of conniving and going behind her back, but this is high school. So, maybe Emmy's finally ready to open up a little. Or maybe she'll just be polite, and a free meal seems like a good way to apologize for last night. Great, now I can decide whether to be excited, nervous, or depressed. Be all three, man. Take secret option D, all of the above. I settle on a combination of all three and hop into the shower. Yes, he takes my advice. And time skip. Alright. Dinner with the folk. Whoa. That's cool. Never seen that before. And his reflection, that's nice. I don't think I like riding on buses. Actually, I think I'm pretty comfortable saying that as a fact. They sway a lot, they smell funny, and you can feel every bump in the road. I'm really not looking forward to this. Plus, Emmy's legs keep making a clanking noise that draws the attention of everyone else on the bus. Wow, rude much? She's in shorts again, and she's got long socks drawn up on her prosthetics so they don't look so obviously false again. And that doesn't stop the odd look or two every time her legs bump together with a audible clunk. I shift nervously in my seat and Emmy raises an eyebrow questioningly. She doesn't seem to mind the stares. Either that or she doesn't even notice that people are staring. I'm sure she's gotten her fill of odd looks before. After a certain amount of time, I doubt she notice anymore. Not that she'd ever tell me if I asked. Yeah, sealed up like a clam, and I don't even know if there's a pearl inside. Another fact is, I'm not just uncomfortable about the bus. I can't seem to come to terms with the fact that Emmy appears to be trying to bring me closer while at the same time trying to push me away. This is what we call the ocean. You know, it goes up and then it goes back and it goes up and it goes back. Sometimes you have high tides, sometimes you have low tides. Meeting the parents is a big deal, right? Not that I haven't already met Emmy's mother, but that was just an acquaintance. Now I'm going to be Emmy's boyfriend with everything that implies. But am I her boyfriend? Because she's pushing me away, push, shove, pulling stuff. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, and echo that of the snow-covered afternoon that feels like it was so long ago that it might as well have been another life entirely. Except that I didn't know that what was going on. I also didn't have medication to help prevent things spiraling out of control. I've come a long way in terms of my physical health, and for the second time today, I feel like I'll be able to live normally now, or at least as normally as possible. Now if only I could manage my relationship as well as I've managed my heart, I'd be in great shape. Alrighty. Hi, Emmy. Well, we're here. Emmy grabs my hand as soon as we've stepped off the bus. She starts heading down the street almost immediately. Come on, we've got a couple blocks until my place. What? Oh, okay. Now, don't pull me too hard because you haven't dragged me in a long time. I follow Emmy down the street, watching her confident stride. She's setting quite a quick pace for just a walk. I guess she's anxious to get there. So does your mom do this sort of thing often? Nah, not too frequently. Mom's never been much for playing hostess. Oh yeah? Why not? Yeah, my dad was always the one pushing her to have people over. This sudden and unprompted reference to her father catches me off guard, because, we don't know much about her father. And from the look on Emmy's face, I'm not sure she meant to mention him. I think I've only heard her talk about him once. All I remember is that Emmy's mom told me that he wasn't around anymore. Oh, your mom preferred solitude? As in the city in Skyrim? Maybe? Emmy laughs, either from belief that I didn't ask about her father, or from finding my statement actually funny. Not at all. She's why I'm such an outgoing person, you know? She just prefers to be a guest rather than a hostess. It's less stressful that way. Or, so she says. It is, man. Being the host for, like, a gathering, it is stressful, because it's like, you need to clean your place, and you need to provide stuff, and make sure everybody's happy. It's a complex thing. Clearly, she's never had to meet her girlfriend's mother for dinner. Oh, clearly she's never had... Okay, clearly she's never had to meet her girlfriend's mother for dinner. I'm trying to wrap my head around that. It's worded incorrectly, I think, or I'm just not understanding it. Anyway, let's move on. Emmy giggles again and speaks in a teasing tone. Nervous, Hishio? You shouldn't be, you know. It's not that big a deal, just dinner at my house. That's all. Yeah, but have you ever brought home a boyfriend before? I confess the part of my... I confess, part of me dreads hearing the answer to this. I know every little of Emmy's past relationships. I don't even know if there were past relationships. No? I guess I haven't. Hey, maybe this really is kind of a big deal after all. Oh, you don't say! Oh, good. Now I feel twice as nervous. Though I tell the truth, I'm pretty happy to hear that I'm the first one. Maybe we've got something special after all. Open the door! Bolstered by this new thought, I managed to calm down considerably by the time Emmy knocks on her front door. Hey, Mom, open up! We're here! The door swings open and Mrs. Ibarazaki stands grinning at her daughter. The grin is still surprisingly similar to Emmy's. Well, it should be, you know, mother and daughter. Hello! Dude, you should have brought, like, maybe a bouquet of, maybe, a cake, you know, something nice, a Jell-O mold. That's always good. I'm never going to get used to that. You know, people normally wait a few minutes before they start shouting at the door. And most mothers say hello to their daughters instead of scolding them right away. Of course, welcome home, dear. I've missed you. Whoa, look at that kitchen. An affectionate hug later. We're inside, and it is only then that Emmy's mom seems to remember that I'm actually here. Hello! And hello to you, too, Hishio. How are you? Oh, you know, having trouble with relationships. I'm quite well, thank you. Nice to not have school to worry about for a little bit. Yes, you finished your exams, haven't you? That must be quite a relief for you both. It's certainly a weight off my mind, that's for sure. Mine too, I think I slept well for the first time in weeks last night, from relief alone. If this news is a surprise to Emmy's mother, she doesn't show it. Still, her response betrays a note of interest. Is that so? I'm very glad to hear that, Emmy. You know, I got worried when you get all wound up about, well, exams. But is it exams? Is it? Certainly Emmy's mother knows something I don't, or rather, she doesn't know that Emmy's told me about the nightmares. It's interesting being able to observe her, how Mrs. Arabazaki covers for Emmy, that protective instinct to make sure that I don't know any more than Emmy's willing to tell me. But, I need to get time alone with the mother. That way I can get information. I wonder if Mrs. Erbazaki will figure out that I know about the nightmares, or is she just keeping something secret from everybody? Yeah, I've not been as bad this year as in the past. Hishio helped me stay focused. Yeah, probably in more ways than one. Okay, I know that's not true. She even cut off contact outside of school hours during exam. But she did see me during the day, and she told me more than once that the morning runs was the only thing she looked forward to during exams. So maybe it's not that much of a lie. Either way, to hear that being around has helped even a little make me feel a bit better. Emmy's mother raises an eyebrow at this statement. Either she doesn't believe Emmy or she's surprised as I am. Well then, it appears that it's a good thing that you two have become so close. Yeah, close! I'd tell you to take good care of my daughter, Hishio, but it looks like you're already doing that. Yeah! Yeah! Emmy grins at this and seems to take pride in my having managed to integrate myself into her with her mother so easily. Actually, I'd say your daughter's been the one taking care of me. She's gotten me out and running. I've probably been more active since meeting her than I was even before my, accident when I almost died. I'd actually never thought about it that much, nor had I ever anticipated the humor in it. I wasn't too active before the heart attack. Pickup games of soccer don't really count since they weren't that common. So now that I know for sure that I have a weak heart, now I run every day, pushing my luck in luck with the help of my medication. Yeah, it's once you start dying that you really start, taking care of yourself. I chuckled quietly, then realized that I never finished my sentence. Well, before I had my heart attack and wound up at the school here. It comes out so casually that there was a time that I wouldn't have thought twice about talking about what was wrong with me at all. Yeah, remember the time when we didn't go around saying what was wrong with us? I remember that time. But now, now it just seems silly to care, especially in the company of Emmy and her mother. If Emmy can be so cavalier about her disability, so can I. I think back to the track meet where Emmy declared herself the fastest thing on no legs. Indeed, yes she is. The fact of her obvious loss has never seemed to bother her, at least not in public. Being stuck in a wheelchair frustrated her, I know, but even that was something she dealt with on her own, despite my efforts to the contrary. Emmy has a way of bringing out the more active side of people. I've never quite figured out how she does it. Those puppy dog eyes, yes! The eyes that can destroy nations! I'm not surprised that she managed to rope you into exercise routines. If Rin wasn't such a stubborn as she is, I'm sure that Emmy would have gotten her out and running with you too. But, Rin's Rin, so... Oh, that reminds me. Rin says hello. Ooh, that's a nice dining set. I drift to the outer edges of the conversation again as we move into the dining room to eat. It smells delicious in here, and the spread that Emmy's mom has produced is impressive. Wow, you've made enough to feed an army in here. What is wrong with my brain? I am not reading things properly today. Is it too much? Well, I can always take some leftovers. You can always take some leftovers with you when you go. That sounds great. I can only handle cafeteria food for so long. Sometimes home-cooked would be a welcome change of pace. What he said. Thanks, Mom. The food tastes as good as it smells, and there's a lull in the conversation while we all dig in. Emmy assaults her plate as the usual with the usual amount of gusto, and I'll admit that I set a pretty fast pace myself. Well, come on, you gotta eat while it's hot, and you don't know when your next meal is gonna be. I mean, you could just walk outside and keel over and die, for all we know. So, Hishio, I hear that you and my daughter have gotten rather close. Now, what do you mean by rather close? The urge to say something like, not really, is so strong that I open my mouth to say it, but I resort control. We are close. There's no getting around it. I mean, Emmy's brought me here, hasn't she? Yeah, but then she's trying to pull me away, something like that. Fortunately, both Emmy and her mother seem to take my reaction as a sign that I'm caught off guard rather than considering saying something cruel. I suppose we have. I blame the morning runs myself. You make it sound like a bad thing, Hishio. Well, we did have the Love Shack incident, and that was less than satisfactory. Well, I, for one, found it a relief. Why's that? Emmy's always been a popular girl, but never made any close friends. This is a bit of news for me. I've always seen Emmy chatting with her classmates in the hallways, and certainly the whole track team seems to love her, but is it true that she chooses to isolate herself during lunch with Rin and me? Well, as we've seen, she doesn't like to get close to people. She's barely close to you, dear Hishio. So, just because you talk to people doesn't mean they're your friend. Not exactly the sort of behavior one expects from a popular girl, after all. Then again, I've experienced her unwillingness to get close firsthand, so I can't say that I'm surprised. I love it how I, explain things, and then I go to the next text box, and it basically restates what I said. I was beginning to have my doubts. Emmy rolls her eyes to the ceiling and grumbles something that I can't quite make out. What was that? Girl? You should say things clearly. What? What was that you just said? What did you just say? Nothing. No, you said something. You said something. Something like that. Mrs. Erbazaki chokes on her drink with laughter. You've been hanging out with the nurse long too, Emmy. I'm going to have to talk to him about corrupting my daughter. Somehow, I don't think that would be very efficient. I learned most of it from you anyway. Not the nurse. That face again! She's gonna destroy us all. Don't listen to her, Hishio. She's a born liar. Yeah, right. Oh, I don't know, Emmy. I think your mother has a point. What? You traitor! You're supposed to take my side on this. No, maybe. But, no. Yeah, but you did lie about your leg after the meet. Ow! A kick in my shins from an unmistakable plastic foot cuts me off. But not before Mrs. Erbazaki's eyebrows shoot upwards. Oh man, that would hurt so much. I mean, there's not even the fleshiness that would soften the blow. What about your leg? Oh no, it wasn't a big deal after all. It was just her in a wheelchair for a bit. What was that? In a wheelchair for a bit? The last few mumbled words are quickly deciphered by Emmy's mother. I suspect she has experience with this sort of thing, and a worried frown appears on her face. So that's why you kept dodging my calls. No, it's not like you can see her over the calls. Why would she do that? I mean, it's not like you pick up the phone. Hello? Are you in a wheelchair? Yeah! What makes you say that? Oh, Emmy, I know how much you hate being in a wheelchair. No wonder you've been in such a mood lately. Yeah, she's much happier on her feet, so to speak. Well, of course, she spent enough time in a chair just after the accident. She didn't get prosthetics immediately. You can't just get prosthetics! I mean, you need, rehab and there's the phantom limb syndrome that you need to go through. Hishio, you're so dumb. No, she had to finish healing up before they let her start a sort of therapy. You've got to go through to adjust to those things, especially since she wanted to run on them. I had no idea. Yeah, it sucked. Oh, did you see Rin's mural at the festival? You're changing the subject. You're changing the subject, Emmy. Doesn't want to talk about things, she changes the subject. Except now with her mother here, she can't just do the sex thing with me. How long have we been going? Long enough. Alrighty, I'm gonna have to end the episode here, guys. Like and favorite if you've enjoyed. Subscribe, of course. And this probably wasn't the most... what's the word I'm looking for? Most exciting episode ever, but we always need a little bit of exposition in between excitement. I'll see you guys next time out there in YouTube land. I'll see you then. Yeah.
Bullseye.